Again, welcome to Chemistry 1 class, or what we so-called General Chemistry 1. Okay, so for today's lesson, the learning objectives that you need to um, obtain is determine the Dalton's atomic theory, explain how the basic law of matter, the law of conservation of mass, law of constant composition, law of multiple proportion, and lastly, differentiate among atomic number, mass number, and isotopes, and which of these distinguishes one's element from another. So first, let's see, this is illustrations of the evolution of the atomic model from the solid sphere model up to the quantum model. So we have different models of an atom, how this atom how the model of the atom evolves from solid sphere model up to quantum model. At ito ay tatalakayin natin habang kayo ay nakikinig dito sa video na ito. Okay, first, what is atom? So, the first term for atom is atomos. This is coined by Mr. Democritus, a Greek philosopher who was the first used the term atomos. Okay, so when we say atom, this is a Greek word meaning atomos, indivisible. So when we say indivisible, cannot be divided into smaller one or smaller particles. Okay, then atom is said to be the basic unit of matter. Bakit? Kasi matter is composed of different compounds. And also compounds is composed of different element. And inside of the element, there is an atom. Kaya sinasabi nating atom is a basic unit of matter. Next is defining structure of the element. Okay, so the atom is the one who actually determines the structure of the element. And lastly, it composed of subatomic particles, the nucleus, the electron, the negative charge, and the proton, which has a positive charge. And also meron tayong neutron, okay, which is the neutral charges. So, Mr. John Dalton, yan nakikita ninyo, is born on September 1766 to 27 July 1844. He is a chemist, physicist, and meteorologist who studied the atomic theory and also research into the coloring blindness. His experiment in the gases, or yung tinatawag nating gas law, reveals the atomic theory, as well as their atomic theory is also based on the three basic law of matter. Okay, so mamaya malalaman ninyo what is the three basic law of matter. So we have Dalton's atomic theory. So first one is matter is made up of tiny particles called atom. Atoms are extremely small and indivisible particle of an element which cannot be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. Atoms of a given element are identical in mass, size, shape, and other properties. 4. Atoms of different element have different atomic mass, size, and properties. 5. A combination of two or more different atoms or elements can form a compound, which a ratio of small whole number. 6. The relative number and kind of atom are constant in a given composition. So this postulates atomic theory. I-discuss natin ito isa-isa. Okay, first one, matter is made up of tiny particles called atom. So here is the illustrations of elements. Element A and element B is equal to a certain compound. So always remember, all matter are composed of compound. Is composed of substance. And substance is also a compound. And compound is also composed of different elements, same element or different elements. And elements is composed of atom. That's why matter is made up of tiny particles called atom. Okay, next is atoms are extremely small and indivisible particle of an element which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical composition. So I will just emphasize this one. cannot be created nor destroyed. Okay, always remember that all of the elements in the periodic table are not made by a human. Rather, it is just being discovered as time goes by and being named after planets, after the name of the scientist, or the name of a certain place. Okay? So, those elements cannot be destroyed or cannot be created. Kasi fix na sila na nandyan sa paligid-ligid natin. So, we have the element A plus element A is equal to compound. So, same elements joined together will always form a compound. Okay? Ang compound, it can be breakdown into into elements, but elements cannot be breakdown into smaller particles. Always remember that. So again, compounds can be created by adding different elements. However, it is not actually, the elements cannot be created. Okay? So, sabi dito, no new atoms are formed, no atom is being destroyed. Okay? Why? So, for example, we have the ozone layer. Ozone layer. So, ozone layer, the chemical formula of the ozone layer is O3. So, ma'am, ano po yung ozone layer? Again, pinag-aralan nyo na to dati. Ozone layer is a blanket which protects us from UV rays. Okay, nakalocate ito sa nakalocate ito sa atmosphere. Okay, so we have O3. So this is equal to 3 atom of oxygen that is being added to each other. That's why tatlo yan. So if these elements or this one atom of oxygen ay nasira yung bond niya sa dalawang atom of oxygen, itong oxygen na ito, hindi yan masisira into smaller particles. Okay? Bagkus, magkakaroon lang tayo ng another product or naghiwalay lang sila. Okay? At nagkaroon lang tayo ng another compound. So, hindi sila hindi sila nagde-destroy at hindi sila nagfo-form. But this compound, kapag nagkaroon tayo ng reaction, nafo-form lang sila into new compound. Okay? But the characteristic of these three elements are the same. Okay? Hindi nababago yung characteristic ni element A, element B, element C pag siya ay naging compound. Yun at yun pa rin yun. Okay? So next, atoms are extremely small and indivisible particle of an element which cannot be created and destroyed. Parang naulit. Next, number 3, atoms of a given element are identical in mass, size, shape, and other properties. So, in a certain element, lahat ng mga atom na nasa loob nun, they are similar. So, here's the illustrations of the element of compound. Similar lahat ng kanilang atom. We also have carbon. Similar lahat ng atoms ng element ng carbon. And ganun din kay helium. Next one, atoms of different element have different atomic mass, size, and properties. So, always remember, element A is different from element B and also different from element C. But when they add together as compound, hindi pa rin nababago yung kanilang properties. Okay? Nagdikit-dikit lang sila. Parang, ano lang yan? Parang digestive system na meron tayo. Iba-iba man ang mga organs na meron sa digestive system, pero nagwo-work as one sila. So, parang ganun ang compound, which have different elements. Okay, or contents of different elements. So, this is very evident to the periodic table. So, ayan, as you can see, we have the atomic weight from hydrogen up to helium, nababago ang atomic number na meron sila, as well as atomic weight and atomic number. So, no certain element have the same atomic number and have the same atomic mass. So walang elements na ganon. They are very different each other. So next, we have a combination of two or more different atom or element can form a compound with a ratio of small whole number. Okay? So, as you can see in the illustration, yung tinatawag nating small ratio of small whole number, so lahat ng mga atoms na in a compound, binibilang natin yan. For example, this is H2O or what we so-called water. So, the chemical formula for water is H2O. So, ilan ang atoms na meron kay hydrogen? Okay, sa water. So, we have 1 and we have 2. Kaya yan tinawag na H2O. Then, O lang or 1 kasi 1 lang ang meron dito sa oxygen. Okay, so yung 2 na yan at yung 1 na yan, ayan yung ratio of small whole number. So, 2:1. Okay, 2:1 ang ratio nito. Next, ito naman, methane. This is methane compound. Okay, meron siyang 4. Ayan, meron siyang 4 hydrogen and 1 carbon. So, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is 1 carbon. Okay, so 1:4 sila. Okay, so ayan yung ratio na tinatawag natin. Okay, ma'am, paano pag nabago na po yung ratio nila? Okay, hindi na sila magiging water. For example, itong water, nabago yan, naging 3 yung hydrogen. Then, hindi na iyon pwedeng maging water. Okay, other compounds na yun. So, always remember, fixed ratio ang meron in a certain compound. Next, relative number and kind of atom are constant in a given compound. So, as I say a while ago, it is always fixed. A certain compound with a number or with different numbers of atoms is always fixed. Okay? So, pag nabago yan, hindi ka na yan. Parang DNA nyo lang, pag may nabagong ni isa dyan, hindi na ikaw yan. Okay? Ganun lang po yun. Then now, let's discuss the basic law of matter. So, we have law of conservation of mass, law of constant composition, and law of multiple proportion. So, these laws ay basihan ni John Dalton why he formulated those postulates or those theories na meron siya. So, what are the other compositions of this product? Okay, so we just have a certain analogy. So, always remember, in making a certain product or chemical product, there is always a fixed ingredient in order to form it properly. Okay, so for example, we have the ethyl alcohol. We have 70% of ethyl alcohol. Kaya yung tinawag na 70% solution, it's because it contains 70% of ethyl alcohol, which is very much good in killing bacteria. Next is we have 30% of water, okay, to make it 100%. Then we have the 18 karat gold, which is the value of 18 karat gold is 75% gold, while the 25% is mixed with the other metals. Okay, kapag bumaba yan sa 75%, then hindi na siya 18 karat gold. Next, kaya tinawag yan na 925 silver because 92.5 silver ang composition niya. Okay, and other 7.5 is other metal. So, pag bumaba dyan sa 925 or 92.5% ang silver, then hindi maganda yung quality ng silver. Okay, so in a particular creation of a certain product, always have a same proportion of ingredient. Always remember that. Pag nagluluto din kayo, pag nasobrahan kayo ng asin, 'di ba? Hindi na masarap. Okay? Hindi na kaaya-aya ang lasa niya. So we always measure a certain ingredients na meron tayo. Okay? So That is also being studied by the Laurent de Lavoisier. Okay, he is a French chemist, Ita figure in the 18th century. He is also famous, known as the father of the modern chemistry because of the law of conservation of mass, or tinatawag din nating law of conservation of matter. So, this law of conservation of matter is being determined by the experimentation of the oxygen. Okay? So, nakita niya doon sa oxygen na yung oxygen is able to form a fire. Okay? So, from parang ingredient to form a certain fire. Okay? So, what is law of conservation of mass? This is also known as law of conservation of matter. It stated that the matter is neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction wherein the total mass of a substance is present before the chemical reaction is the same as the total mass after reactant. Okay. So, meron tayong tinatawag na reactant at the product. Okay? So, always remember itong mga mass na meron dito sa bawat element. For example, this is 10, this is 11, and this is 12. Pag yan nag-combine into compound, same pa rin yung value ng mass nila. Okay? Same pa rin yung value ng mass nila. Hindi yan nababago. Kaya nga ang sabi dyan, chemical reaction is the same as the total mass after reaction. Okay? Ganun lang yon. So, next, the law of definite composition. So, parang medyo similar sila sa law of mass. Okay? Law of conservation of mass and law of conservation of matter. Okay? So, itong sa law of conservation of mass, kukunin lang natin yung mass of an atom, then makukuha nyo na yung pinaka-mass. Okay? Then, i-add lang natin yung mga yon. So, next, we have the law of definite proportion or definite proportion or definite composition. So, ayan yung mga term nila. It states that the relative number and kinds of an atom in the compound are constant. So, meron tayong reactant, this one, sa left side, and this is the product. So, ito yung tinatawag na balancing. Balancing ha. So, lahat daw ng number of atoms sa bawat element na nandito sa reactant ay same din ang value na mayroon dito sa product. So, let's see. Okay? So, we have 6 carbon. 6 carbon. Ito, dahil katabi niya yung 6, kaya yan 6 carbon. And this one, ilan yung carbon niya? Okay, ito po, another 6 carbon. Next, we have oxygen. So, we have 6 times 2 sa subscript ng oxygen, then it would be 12 oxygen. Plus 6, meron ditong 1 oxygen. Ipumultiply lang natin at magkakaroon tayo ng oxygen 6. So, 12 plus 6 is equal to 18. So, dito sa reactant, meron tayong 18 atoms of oxygen. Next, this one naman sa product, meron tayong 6 oxygen, okay, plus 6, then 2, 6 times 2 is equal to 12. So, this is 12 and this is 6. Pag pinagsama natin, 18. So, always remember lahat ng number ng atom, okay, na meron sa reactant ay similar with the number of atom na meron sa product. So, it's always constant. Kaya siya tinawag na balancing equation of formula. Kahit nagkaroon ng chemical reaction, balance pa rin sila. Okay? Next. Ayan lang yung example ng elements in a compound should have a fixed proportion of mass, fixed amount of atom, will result to the constant mass of compound. So, yung mass nito ng reactant is always similar with the mass of the product. Bakit? Kasi yung number of atoms na meron dito sa reactant is also similar similar kung ano man ang number ng atom na meron dito sa product. Always remember that. Next is Joseph Louis Proust. He also contributed the law of definite proportion. So his research is about metallurgy, explosive, and nutritional chemistry. Okay, so when we say metallurgy, the act of science or extracting metals from their ores and modifying the metal in order to use. That's why nagawa niya tong law of multiple proportion. Law of definite proportion. Okay. Definite proportion or definite composition. Next is law of multiple proportion. So, it is being proposed by John Dalton in 1804. This states that when two elements combine with each other to form more than one compound, the weights of one element that combine with the fixed weight of the others are in a ratio of small number. So, here's the example. Okay? So, the first example is carbon monoxide. This one. So, carbon monoxide contains one atom of carbon and one atom of oxygen. Okay, so we will get the mass of each element. So, carbon, ang mass niya po ay 12. Ma'am, saan mo nakuha yung 12 na yan? Okay. Saglit lang. So, yung 12 na yan ay dito po natin nakuha. We have the atomic weight, 12.01. Actually, dapat. Pero dun sa example is 12 lang ang nakalagay. Pwede naman yun. Okay? And also, we have oxygen, which is 16. This is the oxygen. The atomic weight is 16.00. Okay? So, anong gagawin natin para malaman ang ratio ng bawat elements? Okay? So, para malaman yung ratio ng bawat elements, kukunin lang natin yung pinaka-small value ng weight, then i-divide natin sa bawat weight ng elements. Okay? So, for example, this one, we have the weight of the carbon dioxide or atomic mass of the carbon dioxide is 12 divided by 12. Ang makukuha natin is 1. So, that means meron tayong 1 atom of carbon. Next one, to get the number of atom na meron sa oxygen, ang gagawin natin, i-divide natin yung 12 grams na galing kay carbon, okay, which is 16 divided by 12 is equal to 1.33. Okay? And yung 1, it also represents the oxygen in the carbon monoxide is also contains 1 atom. Next, we have carbon dioxide. So we have 1 atom of carbon and we have 2 atom of oxygen. So again, we will get the atomic weight of the carbon, which is 12 grams, and atomic weight of the oxygen, which is 32 grams. Ma'am, bakit yan naging 32? Sa 1 atom of carbon, 1 atom of oxygen, 16 grams lang. Since dalawa yan, times 2. Kaya yan naging 32. Okay? 32 grams. 32 grams. So, gagawin natin ulit, i-divide natin yung pinakamaliit sa bawat atoms na meron tayo. Okay? Maliit na weight or mass sa bawat atoms na meron tayo. So, we have 12 carbon divided by 12 is equal to 1 gram. Next, we have oxygen 2. 32 gram divided by 12 gram is equal to 2.67. So, meron tayong 2 and meron tayong 1. Kaya meron tayong 1 atom of carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen. Okay, so yun lang naman yung explanation dyan about sa ratio, okay, ng small whole number in a certain weight. So, the weight of a certain element is also correspond to the ratio of a small whole number. So next, we have the history of atomic structure. Okay? So, first, in 1803, John Dalton proposed the solid sphere model named Atomos. Okay, yung Atomos is being named by Democritus, but John Dalton is the one who used atom. And this solid sphere model also tells that all matter is made up of atom. All atoms of a given elements are identical in mass and properties. Elements of the same elements are identical in mass and properties. So for example, we have carbon. Lahat ng nasa loob ni carbon na atom are similar, contain similar mass and properties. Next, we have compound, are created by combining two or more different kinds of atom. So it can be same kind of atom, two or more same kind of atom, or two or more different kinds of atom. And 4, a chemical reaction is a rearrangement of the atom. Why it is a rearrangement of atom? Kasi nga, di ba sabi ko sa inyo, meron tayong reactant at meron tayong product. Lahat ng number of atoms na meron sa reactant is similar sa number ng product. Kaya yan tinawag na rearrangement. Kasi nagkakaroon nga lang tayo ng arrangement of the atoms in a certain chemical reaction. Okay? Next, in 1886, we have Eugene Goldstein. He modified a cathode ray tube and also a canal ray. Ayan. So, napapansin nyo yan. So, meron tayong tinatawag na anode that is positive charge and cathode that is negative charge. So, no need to elaborate that. Next is 1904, Sir Joseph John Thomson. He is an English physicist. He also received a Nobel Prize for physics in 1906 and was knighted in 1908. He discovered the electron. So, as you can see in the illustration, ang model ng atomic structure ni Joseph John Thomson is what we so-called the Thomson's plum pudding model. So, bakit siya tinawag na plum pudding model? So, ito yung plum pudding model. Okay? So, yung plum pudding model ay best delicacy sa kanila. Okay, na hinahanda tuwing Christmas. So, as you can see, ayan, yung mga kulay black na yan, ayan yung nire-represent ng electron. At ang electron daw po ay nakascattered in the inside of the atom. So, ayan yung na-discover or theory ni Joseph John Thomson o J.J. Thomson. Okay? Next is, in 1911, Ernest Rutherford. He is a New Zealand-born British physicist. Okay, he studied the radioactivity with concept of the nuclear atom. He led the exploration of nuclear physics. So, he also won the Nobel Prize and also discovered the nucleus. Okay, so nucleus is at the middle part of a certain atom. So, kaya siya tinawag na nuclear model kasi meron tayong nucleus sa gitna. Okay, so these are the orbits, these are the electrons scattering around the nucleus, and the nucleus ay nasa gitna. Next one, we have Neil Hendrik David Bohr, a Danish physicist who is generally regarded as one of the foremost physicists of 20th century. So, he actually made the model of an atom. It is known as the planetary model of atom. So, bakit siya tinawag na planetary model of atom? Meron tayong nucleus, nasa gitna, then, meron tayong mga electron na umiikot-ikot sa paligid niya. Why planetary? Para siyang solar system. Okay. So, we all know that the solar system, ang gitna niya is sun. So, yung mga yan, yung mga electron, it's like a planet daw that revolving around the nucleus. Kaya siya tinawag na planetary model of atom. Then as time goes by, it develops by discovery. It developed with the greatest scientist who won the Nobel Prize for Physics. So he is Erwin Schrödinger. Okay, and this is the model na meron siya. So ang tawag dito is atomic model is quantum mechanical model. Okay? So this one, quantum mechanical model of an atom. So ito, yung mga yan, di ba parang itlog, yung mga yan, cloud lang yan. Okay, cloud form. So bakit cloud form? Kasi you cannot determine the locations of the electron. Okay? Sa diyan sa certain atom. So wala daw ni isa o ni sino mang pwedeng mag-conclude o pwedeng mag-locate ng electron around the nucleus. Okay? So ang isa lang na pinaka fix dyan is that there is a nucleus inside the atom. Ayun lang po. Okay? So, next is James Chadwick. He discovered the neutron, a no-charge particle with high energy level. Okay? So, again, this is the structure of the atom. We have Democritus called the atom as atomos. Then, John Dalton named it atom. Next, the proton is named after Eugene Goldstein. And neutron is named after James Chadwick. Electron is named after Joseph John Thomson. And lastly, Rutherford is named the nucleus or the existence of the nucleus. So we have the subatomic particles. Okay? So we are all done in discussing the structure of the atom. Ay, wait lang. Sa structure of the atom, actually, ang pinag-aaralan natin is yung sa planetary model. Okay? Kasi ayan, this one. Planetary model. Okay, bakit ito yung medyo pinag-aaralan natin? Kasi ito ay medyo similar doon sa quantum model of the atom. Okay? So, dito kasi, we can able to locate a certain element, a certain electron. Okay? So, mapag-aaralan natin yan as time goes by. So, next, we have subatomic particles. In subatomic particle, we have the proton, the neutron, and the electron. So, the symbol for proton is positive, and it has a mass 1 and positive 1 charge. Neutron is N, and mass is 1, then 0 charge, and electron is E negative, which is negative 1 charges. Then the nucleus, inside the nucleus there is a proton, and proton and neutron to proton and neutron. Again, inside of the nucleus, meron tayong proton and neutron. So, yung electron nasa, ayan, paligid. Ito ay electron. Dito sa gitna, proton and neutron. So, next, si Henry Moseley discovered that the element has its specific number of proton. He assigned the atomic number and number of protons in the periodic table. Okay? So, siya yung gumawa ng bawat atomic different elements have different number of atoms as well as number of neutron. Always remember that every elements have different numbers of proton and different numbers of neutron. So these are the computations or formulas in determining the number of subatomic particles in a certain element. So number of proton is equal to atomic number. Ayan. So, helium, we all know that every element has different atomic number. So, that's why number of proton is also considered as number of atomic number. Next is mass number is equal to number of proton plus number of neutron. Next, now number of electron is equal to number of proton. 4 is number of neutron is equal to mass number minus number of proton. So, ang magkakaparehas lang dyan, yung number ng proton, number ng atomic number, at number ng electron. Ayun yung mga magkakaparehas na value. So, for example, we have aluminum, Al. The atomic mass is 13. The number of proton is also 13. The number of electron is also 13. The neutron is 14. And the mass number is 27. Next one, we have iron. Atomic number is 26. The proton is 26. The electron is 26. The neutron is 30. The mass number is 56. Carbon, we have atomic number 29. The number of proton is 29. The number of electrons is 29. The number of neutron is 25. And the mass number is 64. So again, para makuha natin yung number of electrons na meron tayo, ano yung kinakailangan? Okay, number of neutron is equal to mass number minus number of proton. Okay? So, yun yung mapapansin nyo dyan. So, no need na yan kasi madali lang naman yan. So, here is the periodic table of element. Pwede nyo gamitin ito. Okay? So, meron yung mga symbol. Okay, lahat ng mga nandito sa side na to, ayan, horizontally that it contains positive 1 charges. Lahat ng mga nandito sa side na to contains positive 2 charges. Ang tinutukoy nating positive 2 ang tinutukoy nating charges na positive 2, yung oxidation state. Okay? Lahat ng mga nandito sa group na to ay merong positive 3, yung oxidation state. And dito din, lahat ng nandito is meron tayong negative 3, yung oxidation state, negative 2, and negative 1. Okay. So, thus the number of neutron and mass are always fixed in an element. Okay? So, inuulit ko yung tanong, does the number of neutron and mass are always fixed in an element? So, the answer is no. Okay? So, in a certain element, may minsan hindi nagiging fix yung amount ng neutron and amount ng mass niya. Bakit? Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na isotopes. So, ano yung isotope? Isotope is being studied by Frederick Soddy. So, isotopes are the atoms of the same element having the same proton with different atomic mass and different number of neutron. Bakit? Hindi ko rin alam. Okay? So, walang libro ang nakapag-state bakit nagkaroon ng isotopes at bakit naging, ba't nababago yung number of protons, number of neutrons and electrons na meron sa kanila. Okay? So, this is an example of isotopes. So, meron tayong tatlong carbon. Carbon 12, carbon 13, at carbon 14. So, ito yung mga number of protons and neutrons nila. Okay, so they have similar number of protons, but then they have different number of electrons. So, ito ay may kinalaman sa stability of a certain element, stable of a certain element. So, tingnan natin. Ang sabi dito, punta tayo dito sa aking illustration. Ayan. Medyo mahina yung internet namin ngayon. Kasi ang dami din talagang naka-open. Ayan. So, let's build an atom. So, tingnan natin kung anong mangyayari doon sa certain atom. Okay? Pag nagdadagdag tayo ng proton. Wait lang tayo, ang tagal talaga. Ayan. So, here's the illustration. So, meron tayong proton dito. Ayan yung gumagalaw. Meron tayong neutron and meron tayong electron. Okay? So, pag tayo ay, sabi kanina, ang number of protons at number of neutrons ang nagdedetermine sa atomic number. Okay? So, mag-add tayo ng isa. Therefore, makikita ninyo na nagkaroon tayo ng hydrogen. Ganon din dito. Okay? So, isang hydrogen and isang neutron. Okay? Then, nag-add ulit tayo ng proton. Nababago yung atomic number since yung proton ay considered as the number of atomic number. Okay? Mag-stop tayo sa carbon. So, carbon contains ilan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Carbon contains 6 protons. So, therefore, ang kanyang atomic number is 6. Nasa na? Okay? We have atomic number 6. Okay. So, ngayon, punta tayo dun sa ating ayan. So, sabi dito, ang carbon-12 daw ay may 6 na neutron. So, tingnan natin. Meron na tayong isa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Parang sobra yata. Ayan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ayan. So, again, wala pa. Stable siya. Okay? Stable ang kanyang neutron. O stable ang kanyang atom. Okay? Stable pa rin po ito. So, next, dagdagan natin ng carbon-13. So, ang carbon-13 is neutron niya is 7. So, dagdagan natin ng isa. Neutron, anong mangyayari? Stable pa rin. Okay? Next, dagdagan natin ng another na isa pa. So, sa carbon-14, 8 ang kanyang neutron. So, anong mangyayari? Okay, unstable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so ganun lang po ang nangyayari. So, it can be stable or unstable. So, pag nagiging unstable siya, meaning to say, madami siyang capable siya for the chemical reaction. So, magalaw ang bawat atoms na meron sa kanya. Okay, so ganun lang. Pinapakita lang ng illustration nito pag dinagdagan mo pa yan ng atom, edi ibang ng proton, ibang elements na ang meron doon. Okay. Ayan po. So as you can see. Okay? So yun lang naman ang illustration na ito. Okay? Nakakatuwa lang mag-add ng mag-add. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng isotopes by having a different number of neutrons in a certain elements, specific elements. So, how to write this in a symbol form? So, we have the atomic mass. Sa left, we have the atomic mass. Here, the chemical symbol and atomic number or proton. So, pag sinulat po natin yan, is 12C6. Okay? Next is 13C6. So, it's sa isotopes, isotopes yan. So, it is, ibig sabihin yan, carbon 12, then the number of proton 6. Carbon 13, the number. Okay, so we have here the isotopes and their uses. Radioactive isotopes, so these are the example and their applications in medicine. Okay, cobalt-60 for radiation therapy to prevent cancer. We also have iodine-131 locates brain tumor, monitor cardiac, liver, and thyroid activity. Then carbon-14 study metabolism changes for patients with diabetes and gout anemia. And sodium 24, study blood circulation. Thallium 201 determines the damage in heart detection of tumor. And technetium 99M for the locations of the brain tumor. And also, we have isotopes for the industrial applications. Okay, so when we say industrial application, it is more on the factory producing different kinds of materials that we can use in daily life. For example, the Americium 241 for uniform thickness when rolling steel and paper, determining locations of the oil well. Sodium 24, oil well study and located leaks in the pipelines. Iridium 192, test integrity of boilers and aircraft parts. And uranium 234, nuclear power plant. So this is one of the highly reactive elements that we have. Although dito sa Pilipinas meron tayong nuclear power plant, because of this kind of isotopes, hindi na pinagana. Okay, kasi walang masyadong gamit ang Philippines o pag-sustain ng nuclear power plant ang Philippines. Kaya pinasara yung nuclear power plant. Although ngayon ay binubuksan yung topic na yon na na buksan yung nuclear power plant kasi sayang naman. Okay, so production of fluorescent glassware and colored wall tiles. Then californium 253, determine the moisture content of the soil, important for road construction and building industries. Okay, so those are one of the important these are the different isotopes that are very important in the medicine as well as in the industrial application. So next, let's differentiate molecules, ions, and atoms. So first one is, what is atom? So you already know that an atom is a fundamental unit of matter wherein it is inside of the element. So atom has a neutral charges. Why neutral charges? Because its energy is stable. Not attractive to an electrical field dahil nga sabi ko, stable, no charge ang atom, and composed of equal number of electrons and protons. However, minsan nagkakaroon ng charges ang isang atoms, okay? Yung tinatawag nating ions. Pag nakulangan ng neutron or pag nasobrahan ng electron, okay? Ang dami ng electron, nagkakaroon tayo ng ions. Next, we have the molecule. So molecule refers to the multiple atoms, okay? Or it can be said that it is like a compound because a multiple of atom or a group of multiple of atom is also an example of compound. It composed of single chemical element composed of multiple elements. And molecular size varies depending on the number of atoms. So meron tayong atomicity na tinatawag, number of an atom contains in the molecule of a substance of element. So first one is monoatomic molecule. The example of this is noble gases like helium, neon, argon. Okay? And ano pa ba? Yung mga nitrogen. Ayan, yung mga noble gases. Next, we have diatomic molecules. So these molecules consist of two atoms. For example, hydrogen, H2, oxygen, O2, oxygen gas to and nitrogen gas, and chlorine 2. Okay, so ito yung pinaka-example natin ng structure of the compound. Okay, so here we have hydrogen gas, oxygen gas, and chlorine. Always remember, kapag dalawang atom sa noble gas, always gases yun. Okay? Next, we have triatomic molecules. Those molecules consist of three atoms. Kaya siya tinawag na tri. Example, ozone layer. Triatomic molecule. Similarly, carbon, CO2. Okay, bakit naging triatomic yung CO2? One atom of carbon, Carbon dioxide is 1 atom of carbon and 2 atom of oxygen. Then nitrogen dioxide na 1 carbon of atom ay 1 atom of nitrogen and 2 atoms of oxygen. Then polyatomic molecules, we contains more 1 or 4 or more atoms in a compound. Example, nitric acids. So NH03. Okay, so ayan yung mga example ng molecules na tinatawag natin. So what is ions? So an ion is an atom of a molecule that has a net electrical charges. So it can be positive or negative charge, attracted to electrical field according to their electrical charges, composed of an equal number of electron and proton. Okay? So ayan po yung pinaka definition niya. So an ion, we produces ion if there is an increase or decrease of electric charge. Okay? O tinatawag nating electron sa isang elements. So always remember, in a certain element, meron tayong number of proton, number of electron, and number of neutron. Kapag dumami yung number of electron, that is anion. Kapag kumonti naman yung number of electron, that is cation. Okay? So any atom of group of atom that bears one or more positive or negative electrical charges. Cation, ions possess positive charges. Okay? And anion possess negative charges. So paano nangyari ito? Paano nagkakaroon ng cation at saka anion? So for example, meron tayong element na carbon. Carbon 6. Ang atomic number niya is 6. Okay? So ibig sabihin niyan, ang number of proton niya is 6. Number of electron din niya is 6. Pag itong electron ni carbon ay naging 7, dumagdag ng 7 o kaya naging 8. Since madami ang kanyang electron, ang mangyayari, itong element na to is magiging anion. Okay? Anion po ang anion siya. Bakit anion? Kasi madami na ang number of electrons niya. Kaya siya naging negative charges. Okay, why negative charge? Kasi ang electron is also negative charge. Pero kapag kumonti naman ang electron ng carbon 6, let's say sabihin natin naging 8, naging 5 ang number of electrons ni carbon. So, ang kanyang charges ay positive kasi greater ang number ng proton. Okay? So, monoatomic ion is made up of one atom, and polyatomic ion that is made up of 2 or more atoms. So, ayun lang naman yung explanation natin bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng ions. So, how ions are being formed? And ions are formed to the following. First, additional of electrons to an atom will become anion, and removal of electrons from an atom will become cation. So, ayun yung sinabi ko kanina. Okay? So, again, iulitin ko yung explanation ko, yung carbon. Okay? So, these are the example. We have element A, meron siyang proton 6, tsaka electron 6. So, kapag balance or same ang number ng proton at same number ng electron, that is neutral. However, kapag lumiit ang number of electron compare sa number of proton, that is cation. Okay? And lastly, we have element 6. Pag dumami ang amount ng electron, that is an anion. So, meaning to say, here's an anion, meron siyang negative charge. Dito, positive charge ang element. This element is neutral. So, 6 and 6. Okay? Bakit naging positive charge ang element na to? Kasi mas madami ang proton compare sa electron. Bakit naging negative ang element na to? Kasi mas madami ang electron compare sa proton. So, I hope you understand why we have an ions. Okay? And also, nagkakaroon tayo ng palitan or addition and removing of electron because of a certain law. Okay, yung law na ito is yung tinatawag nating Coulomb's law of charges. So, always remember, like charges repel to each other. Unlike charge attract. So, thus, two negative charges repel and thus another, while a positive charge attracts a negatively charged. Always remember, a certain elements can be a positive or negative charge. So, kapag yung carbon ay positive charge, mag-a-attract siya ng another element na may negative charge. Okay? Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag nating ionic compound. Okay? Ionic compound ang nabubuo doon, hindi covalent compound. So, usually, these ionic compound are more on metals and non-metals. Combination of metals and non-metals. Okay? So, I hope you understand how ion works. Question? Okay, so far wala namang questions. Then, let's proceed to the activity. Okay? So, thank you for listening and God bless. Tapos na ako sa lesson 1. Next naman. Number of proton is 6.